Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered. My name is Philippa Nogani. I'm the VP of Growth here at Solved. And today I have Venu Kanduri with me, who's the SVP of Digital here at Solved. Venu, thank you for joining us. We're thrilled to have you.
Filippo, thank you for having me on the podcast. It's very nice to engage with you on this one. Thank you so much.
I really want to kick off really to understand, what does SVP of Digital do day to day? If you can share a little bit more with us about your role and what your day to day life looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question to start with. And I would say there's no easy way to say, like, here's my schedule for the day. But the three key things that I focus on my day to day thing, right? One is how do I engage with our customers effectively? If a day goes without talking to a customer or understand, like, what is that they want to achieve, that's definitely not a good day for me. So engaging with our customers is one of the key aspects for the day. The second thing is the people that are working behind it, my team and the extended team of Solved, right? So connecting with them on multiple aspects, whether we are trying to bring a solution to a customer or we're trying to, like, have a thought leadership conversation or addressing certain queries of the team. That's what I focus on. The third thing is I believe as a leader, everyone has to innovate and be ready, like, what's next. So my time also goes in understanding what are the trends in the industry, what can be a value proposition that I bring to my customers and my team. So yeah, in a nutshell, engage with your external customers, engage with your internal stakeholders, and continue to evolve. Yeah, that's what my day constitutes of.
I'm curious, for others who are looking to kind of have a similar role or getting um, into this kind of industry, what really brought you here? Like, what was, were you determined, this is kind of the world you're going to go into, or what, if you could share a little bit more about your background and how you got here?
Absolutely. I think, choosing a career happens in two ways, right? One is passion, second is accident. In my case, computers was an accident, right? So during my undergrad, I was trying to get into literature, and my brother said, like, computers is the future. We're talking about the 90s here. So that's how I got into this thing. But while it's an accident, and then the first few years is more of like, learn this, settle down, and all. I started my journey from the mainframe days. The gray hair explains that. And then I went through a couple of, big waves, which is whether it is e-commerce or mobile, data, cloud, and now AI. I think with each wave, as I was like, sustaining, learning, and stabilizing, I kind of have built a passion in this space. I definitely see a lot of value for me, both personally and professionally. So yeah, it was an accident, but then I came into this. The advantage the current generation would have is like, there's no baggage for them to unlearn something because everything is already in there with the AI in the AI era. So I think if your passion drives you, definitely get into this thing, right? Otherwise, having an understanding of technology is an essential thing according to me in life. So you need to have some understanding of it because it is everywhere, right? From the moment you get up with your alarm clock, checking your watch, or like, even before you sleep, you read on your Kindle. So an appreciation of technology is good, and if your passion drives it, get into it.
Awesome. Well, I actually have a similar story. I was um, pure accident how I ended up in the consulting world, and here we are 6 years later, and it continues. But I've met some of the most wonderful people, um, that I really admire. So all good.
Yeah,
Sometimes things happen for a reason,
in some
as they
reason,
say.
it's
Yeah.
defined. Yeah.
So, what are some of the, I'm curious to kind of maybe kind of go more in depth, but would you be able to share a little bit, perhaps, what's some of the best risks you have taken?
Yeah. When it comes to, I mean, two risks I've taken in my life, personal and professional, right? With sharing. Um, Personal was, my marriage. I was in US and my wife is in India, and this was in early 2000s when technology is not so great. And this is more like a blind date because my mom saw her. She said she's a good fit for you. I said, hey, can I come down and see? Oh, no, no, we don't have that much time. You need to say yes, right? So that was the thing. And I said yes, right? So the question one of my client asked me is like, hey, what if like, you don't like it once you go to India, right? I said, I don't know, there's such opportunity for me. So that's one big risk I took in my life. But thank God, like, we are like 21 years into marriage. Today is my marriage anniversary. So
Congratulations.
that's a risk that has taken that is well rewarded, right? Professionally, I was a technologist all the time. I was one of these guys who's sitting in a corner coding and then, like, just not coming into the forefront. And then this gentleman who I met at an airport, he said, like, you can become a consultant. Like, why don't you try that stuff? That is a big risk I made in my life professionally. The first 6 months was pretty difficult, but I was telling myself that, I can pull through this, I can pull through this. And then, changing from technology into consultancy was a big risk professionally. I would say by God's grace, both were worked out well for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is my favorite question. I think, it brings a lot of wisdom that could be shared, but what would you tell your younger self? If you look back, 20 years, what would you have told yourself to do differently? Or maybe not even differently, right? Like, what would you, if you look back, what do you wish that you had known then that you know today?
Yeah. I think from a career standpoint, uh, I think the way I was told is like, keep working hard and that will go. I think one thing that I would tell myself is like, while you're working hard, also try to find out, how can you invest in people, invest in networking in your professional life? Because the way you build yourself, a connection with your personal life, your friends and family, it's required in professional life too. That's what helps you grow faster. That is one thing I would tell myself, I could have done better. That's one thing. The second thing, this is definitely useful for us. We kind of fall into this monotonous thing of like, you start working, you end working kind of thing. But you also have to invest, like, how you kind of like, grow along, with others in terms of like investments, for example, right? Or diversifying like different things you do. So the second thing I would tell myself would be, how could I have been a much more efficient person, like, by diversifying, like, my time in different things, investing my time in different things. Yeah, that's those are the two things I would say myself. Yeah.
I love when you're mentioning networking part because especially with LinkedIn today. Everyone talks about it. I personally am on the board of a couple of organizations and do a lot of events, right? It's like people, it's so given that marketing does this comfortably. I personally absolutely, really find it challenging to go to a room where I don't know anyone and just
Yeah.
strike conversation with people that I do not know. You'll be surprised though. Every time I walk out with, some of my closest friends are people that I met at these events. So I
Awesome.
think, it's such a good advice. But like, what would be some tips that you might have for people who are trying to develop that side of their, skill sets?
Absolutely. Yeah. So this comes from self-learning, right? I mean, most of us would love to be in the comfort zone, right? When you're outside, you want to kind of tag with people you know. I think the very first change anybody would want to do, and this is what I did, I continue to do, is get comfortable to become uncomfortable. That's what you should do, right? I mean, so come out of your comfort zone, try to be ready to get like, embarrassed, try to like, talk to people that are difficult. That's how you start like, opening up like new opportunities. So simple practice, like, you're traveling, you're sitting on a plane, try to see who's next to you. Don't bury yourself in the phone, but like just have a conversation, try to understand who the person is, right? I mean, don't try to make it like businessy or something, just make it very personal, very genuine, very sincere. People will start responding back, reciprocating back. Same thing if you're at an event or a conference or even in a new place. Don't sit with the people that you know already. You know them already, so you're not adding much value to yourself. Go talk to someone, look to your left, look to your right. You'll see a new person, shake a hand, say a hi, go have a conversation with them. I think that's where you come out of your comfort zone. You start making people. You will you'll see the magic that will happen when you start like getting out of your comfort zone. So that would be my message. Yeah.
Yeah. And we usually have at our events, we usually say, when we're hosting with NYC FinTech Women, we always tell our audience, your goal should be walking out of here meeting have 5 new names. So,
Absolutely.
have a quota, have a number for yourself, a goal. So when you walk out of the event, you feel like, hey, you know what? I've hit the goals of, even the small goals will actually move the needle forward, right? Especially
Exactly.
try to get out of your comfort zone.
There's always, see, I believe that you learn something from everyone, right? Definitely, that's how you enrich yourself. So, what you said is right. Like, keep your personal goal, that I'm going to a new place. I'm going to make, like, 3 new people, 3 buddies, right? Something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So this is more personal. I also noticed you have a camera behind you, but maybe camera is a hobby. But I'm curious, what is it something about you that people usually wouldn't know about? They don't expect that's Venu. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that most people wouldn't guess looking at me is, I'm interested in extreme sports, adventure stuff. Like I did skydiving, maybe like, quite a while ago. It was a gift from my wife, like to jump from on my birthday, 9,000 feet. I went to these guys and I said, like, no, what's the highest you can go? They said 18,000. I said, okay, let's double it, right? And then I was the last one to jump off the plane, and that's one thing, right? I'm into that. We did off-roading sometime back in Utah. We literally climbed a mountain using a Jeep. Um, the shark cage diving is on my bucket list. I'm gonna do it like very soon. So yeah, I mean, I think that's one area that people would know, but that's one of the passion.
Never guessed that. I would have.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, the camera that you're seeing behind, it's my laziness. We came from a trip from New Mexico, so I came in and I just put it there. I should have put it in a bag somewhere safe. But yeah, so it's a passion that I'm not able to spend a lot of time, but I would love to. And as I said, I need to kind of get better at, like, how do I invest time in my other passions, besides work.
It's very important. Well, thank you so much, Vanu. It was a pleasure having you with us today. And thank you so much for everyone who's listening.
Philippa, thank you so much for your time and giving me the opportunity. It's really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.